Hey Branch fam, I just wanted to let you know about this video, our newest video, starting off our newest series called For Your Information, or FYI. And it is a simple interview of somebody that maybe I think that you might want to know, or something that I want you to know more about someone that's maybe already familiar to you. I don't think I explained this well, but enjoy the video, okay? FYI, for your information.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll ask you the questions, and all you have to do is answer them.
Cool. Did you want me repeating the questions at all in my answer?
You don't have to. Give me some rundown of when you first started feeling like you might be called to ministry, like as a career.
I would say the first time that I felt God was calling me into worship ministry and into a leadership position in the church probably happened at my junior year of CIY. I think it was Thursday night, the cry night, and we were all worshiping together, and there wasn't a dry eye in the room and all that stuff, but as I was praying and going through the motions and just trying to hear what God's telling me for myself, I just felt this call that how cool would it be to lead other people and just be used by God to not create nights like that, but be used so that God can work through nights like that. So I think that was the first time I really thought, hey, I have these talents that God has given me and just these different abilities, and I thought it'd be really, really cool to use them to glorify Him, not just at CIYs, but just in church in general.
Right. So when you hear the words worship ministry, what does that mean?
Man, so I would say worship ministry, obviously it's musical in a way, so I would say that when you hear worship ministry, or when I think of the term worship leader, I think of someone who's able to do these musical leads and able to lead people musically. But also, I think focusing on the ministry side of it, one of the first things I think of is how can you reach other people, whether that's just literally asking someone out for coffee or just hanging out with people. I always hear relationships whenever I hear worship ministry, and then the music is pretty cool. That's on the side too. That's an awesome part of it.
What is your favorite thing about being a worship leader?
Oh man, there's so many things. That's a hard question. I would say one of my top themes, one of my favorite themes would be that's just so hard. I would say one of my favorite themes would be literally worshiping on stage. We wear in-ears a lot of times. We'll have a click and just different things going in our ears, but being able to take out your in-ears and be able to just stand on stage and hear people praising God, and just hear the voice of His people, all as one big voice. That's insane. It's amazing. It's such a great experience. So that's one of my favorite moments.
So when it comes to a worship leader, who's been the biggest influence on you as a worship leader, and why?
Oh gosh, so I think my biggest influence from someone who is a worship leader would absolutely be Jake Van Skyke, who was me and my brother's worship pastor and kind of mentor while he was here at Wildewood. I think just in everything he did, it was hard to see it at the time, but everything he did, he really just prepared me, and kind of just led by example of what it's like to be a worship leader, and to see the fun in it and not just think of it as a task, but actually look forward to leading people and meeting people and knowing them. So I say Jake would definitely be my example up there.
Very nice. He'll enjoy hearing that.
Right. Actually, Shane Peterson, he's...
I'm gonna give Jake that part too. I'll send it to him hey, I was recording and this is
I had to think hard. I mean,
so now kind of the same thing, but a little bit different is who would you say worship wise is your biggest musical influence or worship music influence?
Ooh, man. That's the hardest one. I would say right now I've been listening to a ton of Elevation Worship. One of their lead singers, Chris Brown, the Elevation Worship Chris Brown, he's just insane. He has a really good voice, and he just leads with a ton of humility. So I've been looking into him, listening to him a lot. But I think probably my top worship leader would be a guy named Pat Barrett, who also made the song Good Good Father with Chris Tomlin. And just in everything he does, he just has such a cool heart for the Lord. And so I really look up to him and how he worships and everything.
Yeah. Now, what's the most difficult part about being a worship leader?
Oh, see, the most difficult part about being a worship leader, man, I would probably say it's not actually preparing for practice and preparing for the actual worship night or setting stuff up, because that can be kind of fun. And once you get a schedule down, it's great. But I would say just the early mornings and the times that you just don't want to put everything you're going to do on the side, or you don't want to have to sacrifice some of your own time to go hang out with somebody, or go to a team member's concert or something like that. Just sacrificing your own time. It can be hard, I feel like, but ultimately it's good. That's just something I struggle with before.
For the branding purposes. Do for the brand. Okay. So, as being really the first graduating class of the branch, not a lot, but they've had tons of great classes, graduating classes, but as the first one that was literally all the way through high school with the branch, what does the branch mean to you?
Okay, that's a good one. So to me, going through high school, going through the branch, I think one of the biggest things it taught me was it's okay to ask questions. And as Chris would say, it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to not know everything. And so it just taught me that you can still be secure in your faith without knowing all the answers. And you can bring questions to God and to leaders. You don't have to be afraid of that. So truthfully, the branch, it means the world to me. I think seeing the people come through it and my friends that I've made through it, I think it's one of the main reasons I was able to break out of my shell of being super shy or being scared to talk to people or be myself around people. I totally attribute that all back to the branch. So it means the world to me.
There you go, a little FYI just for you. That's right. Hey, make sure that you like and subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified of all of our videos. Go back and watch the ones that we've already posted. And also don't forget to check out our branch gaming channel, okay? We've posted a couple of videos now. We've got another one that'll be going out here in the next couple of days in our classic series. It'll be Super Mario Brothers 2, okay? So I'm excited to play that. And we've got all kinds of content coming up, so like and subscribe. I never know how to end these. Toodaloo.